Hello all. I'm getting super sleepy at the moment because it's that time of night for me to start winding down, get myself to bed, and I'm going to read or listen to one of my favourite stories. I'm just going to give us a few minutes as we wait for anybody else who might want to pop online, and then we'll get our little reading going. So we're going to try doing this a few different nights where we have an opportunity for you to listen to different teachers who are going to be reading you bedtime stories, and we'll be asking a few little questions along the way, and just getting into that kind of sleepy mood, ready for a good day at school tomorrow. Do you know what I really need? I really need myself a nice cup of hot chocolate. I think that would really help. Let me see if I got a...
There you go, my darling.
Thank you so much. Wow, look at that. Lovely. Nice cup of cocoa. So I'm just going to hang on a few more minutes, make sure that everybody's here. What would be really good is don't just sit on your own. If you've got somebody in the house you can sit and read with, that would be really nice. If you've got like a brother or a sister, or you've got grandparents, parents, guardians, whoever it might be, it'd be nice to sit with them. So if you've got an opportunity to go and grab somebody and say, let's sit together, that'd be really nice, because there might be times where I'm going to ask you just to turn and have a little chat with whoever you're sitting next to. So I'll give you a little minute now, whilst I drink my hot chocolate, to go and have a little find of someone to sit and listen to the book being read with. I'm hoping all the audio is okay and you can hear it all right. I'm just going to have a little check and make sure that's working. Super. Looks like the audio is working. So I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'm all cozy, rest up. I tell you what, today we're going to be reading a book by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. And this is actually one of Mrs. Draper's favourite books, and it's known as Charlie Cook's favourite book. So we've got Mrs. Draper's favourite book, and it's a book about favourite books. And do you know what? When I turn the first page and I have a little look in this book, I can see a load of Charlie's favourite books. Wow, he's got so many different books. Would you have a little chat with whoever's sitting next to you, and can you tell them what is your favourite book? There are so many great books, aren't there? Can you think of any author names as well? So, I've got lots of favourite books, but some of my favourite books are by the author Roald Dahl, and I love Roald Dahl books. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I love Fantastic Mr. Fox, I love Matilda. That's a really good one. So I have loads of books that I really like to read. So this one's called Charlie Cook's Favourite Book. So, here he is. Once upon a time, there was a boy called Charlie Cook, who curled up in a cosy chair and read his favourite book. It's one of my favourite things to do. About a leaky pirate ship, which very nearly sank, and a pirate chief who got the blame, and who had to walk the plank. The chief swam to an island, and went digging with his hook. At last he found a treasure chest, and in it was a book. What book do you think might be in the pirate's treasure chest? Tell somebody who's sitting next to you now, what do you think it might be? It's always really good, isn't it, to talk about what predictions you might have about what's coming next in the story. Always good to share those with the people who you're reading a book with. I wonder, maybe it's a book about monsters, or maybe it's a book about fairies. Oh, do you know what I'd like it to be? I'd like it to be a book all about dinosaurs. Well, it's about a girl called Goldilocks and 3 indignant bears who cried, "Who's had our porridge? Who's been sitting in our chairs?" They went into the bedroom and Baby Bear said, "Look, she's in my bed, and what's more, she's got my favourite book." Oh, come on. Did you guess this one? What do you think the next book might be? I was wrong about dinosaurs. I know this one, Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Let's see what her favourite book is. Oh, about Sir Percy Pilkington, a bold and fearless knight who told the dragon, "Wait, I'm not quite ready for the fight. You must hear this one first." And then his armour clanked and shook. Ho, 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 hee, 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 as he read aloud a joke he'd found inside his favourite book. Okay, come on. What do you think the book's going to be about this time? Tell the person sitting next to you. I love this because normally knights in shining armour, we think of them as being so brave, don't we? But this guy, I don't know, he doesn't seem that brave. Well, to be honest, talking and telling jokes to a dragon, that is pretty brave. About Rowena Red-a-Lot, a very well-read frog, who jumped upon a lily pad and jumped upon a log, then jumped into the library, which stood beside the brook, and went, "Read it, read it, read it," as she jumped upon a book. Okay, you know the game now. Come on, what do you think the next one's going to be? Can you guess it this time? Is it going to be about fireflies? Is it going to be about astronauts? Could it be about 3 little piggies who are trying to build a house? I've heard of that book before. Well, I've jumped upon a book about an oak tree full of birds. Each bird had built a nest, and they had a competition to decide which one was best. They chose an owl to judge it, and the winner was a rook, whose nest was lined with pages from his very favourite book. I can see all of those different birds in that tree. I know that about birds, don't I? Birds, they like to take things to make their nests, make them nice and comfy. Sometimes in writing, we like to magpie sentences, don't we? We take little sentences and little ideas and we pop them in. Do you know, actually, that's one of the greatest things about reading. The more we read, the more ideas that we can have and use in our writing. So, I wonder what his book's going to be made out of. About a girl who saw a flying saucer in the sky. Some small green men were in it, and they waved as they flew by. She tugged her mother's sleeve and said, "Look, Mum, what I've just seen." But Mum said, "Hush, I'm trying to read my favourite magazine." I love magazines. Magazines are great things to read. I wonder what it's going to be. When I was young, I had magazines about dinosaurs. Let's have a look. About a wicked jewel thief who stole the king's best crown, but then got stuck behind some sheep, which slowed his car right down. The king dialed 999, and soon the cops had caught the crook and flung him into prison, where he read his favourite book. Ooh, wow. I think if I was in prison, I would like to take a book with me. Look at all of these things here. We've got advertisements here for Dr. Foster's patented galoshes. "I never go to Gloucester without them," says the delighted Dr. Foster. Here's another one. Situations vacant. "Governess required for Lady Mary, aged 7. The child is sadly quite contrary. She insists she sees aliens in the garden. A strict governess is required who can curb this vivid imagination. Apply with references to Lady Fotherington, the old rookery, Ranbury Cross. I love all the secret messages in these books. This next book is about a greedy crocodile who got fed up with fish and went on land to try to find some other kind of dish. He went into a bookshop and he there grew even greedier while reading, on page 90 of a large encyclopedia, about the biggest birthday cake the world had ever seen. A team of royal cake makers had made it for the Queen. The cake was so delicious that a famous spaceman took a slice of it to Jupiter. He also took a book. Wow, we haven't quite got to Jupiter yet. Let's have a look. What does it say down here? Cake, my first encyclopedia. Cake, a mixture of nice things, usually baked in the oven. It is eaten at tea time and on special occasions like birthdays and Christmas. The Queen's birthday cake, well, it took 6 lorries to carry the cacao munchies for the Queen's birthday cake to the palace. The cake also required 4,276 bars of chocolate and 739 sackfuls of marshmallows. Ooh, yum, yum. The special outsized cake tin was made by the royal blacksmith using 2,647 melted down horseshoes. My gosh. Famous cake eaters. Britain's most famous cake eaters are the Bun twins of York. At the age of 6, they became the youngest ever winner of the York Festival cake eating competition, aged 10. They had to be taken to hospital after knocking each other out while both reaching for the same slice of cake. Their dog then ate the cake. Whew. I love cake. Do you know some big cake eaters? I know Mr. Keeling, he's a big cake eater. About a ghost, this next one is about a ghost who glided around a castle every night, carrying her head and giving everyone a fright. She kept it up till morning, then she found a shady hook, and put her head back on again to read her favourite book. About a cosy armchair and a boy called Charlie Cook. I love it. What a fantastic story. All those different adventures that you can go on while reading a book. Well, it's getting pretty late, and I think it's about time for me to go to bed. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the morning, and I'll listen to all your stories and the things that you found out whilst you were reading this. So, night night all. We'll see you again for another story time next week.